collapse of the United States labor market week 13, week 3 of recovery at snail's pace amid data chaos. 29.2 million people are still claiming unemployment insurance. Workers are 1/3 of the total. Some states still do not process requests under federal programs. Reasonable approach for unemployment rate. The unemployment crisis, the worst case ever since such data was tracked, ceased to worsen in May and decreased for the third week in a row, but decreased by the speed of the snail, and still the improvements are relatively small. The Ministry of Labor reports this morning that a total of 29.2 million unseasonalized still demand unemployment insurance in all state and federal unemployment insurance programs, including federal pandemic unemployment benefit for workers. This dropped from 29.5 million last week and 30.2 million the previous week. The chart shows the number of people receiving unemployment benefits under state programs, and in red, the number of people receiving federal payments, mostly concerned workers. A few weeks ago, I switched to reporting only, not seasonally, adjusted data for unemployment claims because the seasonal adjustments were not designed for a crisis of this magnitude, and the results went haywire. In addition, the Labor Department revised seasonally adjusted data often heavily the following week, and dealing with them is like trying to nail Gel-O to the wall. Not seasonally adjusted data are not revised and present a more accurate picture. Still, a flood of initial state unemployment claims. The flood of initial unemployment claims under state programs continues. 1.43 million initial claims, not seasonally adjusted, were processed in the week ended June 13, down from 1.54 million a week ago. While down a whole bunch from this to tsunami in late March, this is still more than double the records of the prior unemployment crisis in 1982 and 2009. In other words, people who qualify for state unemployment benefits, regular employees as opposed to gig workers, are still getting laid off in very large numbers. There are bits and pieces of evidence emerging that a larger portion of those layoffs are now from companies that were not part of the initial shutdowns of restaurants, bars, retailers, hotels, and other businesses, but from higher paying jobs across industries. The number of people who continue to claim unemployment benefits a week or more after their initial claim under state programs become part of the insured unemployed. This number of people with continued claims under state programs declined to 18.65 million in the current week, from 18.92 million in the prior week. In other words, more people got hired back or found another job, including at retailers, restaurants, dental practices, etc., that have reopened, than were added to the state unemployment rolls. Federal programs gig workers are 1/3 of insured unemployed. Pandemic unemployment assistant gig workers are now covered under the federal PUA program, which is administered by state unemployment offices. In total, 760,526 initial PUA claims were processed in the week ended June 13, and 9.28 million gig workers received PUA benefits, down from 9.73 million in the prior week. In other words, here too, more gig workers started working again, and their numbers was larger than the number of gig workers who lost their work and filed unemployment claims. These out-of-work gig workers account for about 1/3 of all insured unemployed. The PUA claims system now demonstrates for the first time just how exposed gig workers are and how many of them lose their work in a crisis. Pandemic emergency unemployment compensation. Continued claims under the federal PEUC program more than doubled during the week to 1.08 million. Other federal programs include those that cover laid-off federal employees, 15,514 continued claims, and newly discharged veterans, which is 11,901 continued claims. Some states still behind in processing claims. The PUA program for gig workers was difficult to implement for states. Some scrambled to get it done, others still have not gotten it done. But every week, more states start processing these claims. As of today's report, 6 states still have not processed any claims by gig workers under the PUA program, including the BG, Florida, Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, New Hampshire, Oregon, and West Virginia, and 16 states have not yet processed any claims under the federal PEUC program, including the BG, Florida. As these states eventually figure out how to do it and catch up, they will trigger additional claims under the PUA and PEUC programs. There continue to be reports that some states are still having trouble catching up with the tsunami of state unemployment claims, and that many laid-off workers were still not able to file their UI claims. What does all this mean? Now, I'm pretty sure that the unemployment crisis ended in May. A large number of people are still losing their jobs, and now the number of these missing jobs is paying more and more money. But other people find new jobs or are recalled, and the people who started working again in a given week are more than those who lost their jobs that week. Beyond the official data chaos, over 30 million people lost their jobs and remain unemployed. The 2 US agencies that are reporting unemployment data every Thursday, the Department of Labor with its claims for unemployment insurance, and at the beginning of every month, the Bureau of Labor Statistics with its survey-based jobs report, disagree widely on the unemployment numbers. A difference between these 2 agencies of about 9 million unemployed, as I pointed out last week. The BLC has gone off the deep end for systematic reasons and officially admits to at least part of its errors. So our most accurate stab at the unemployment situation in the United States is the Labor Department's unemployment insurance data. The 29.2 million people still claiming unemployment insurance under all programs, but states are still behind processing claims, and some people who lost their work do not qualify for any benefits. So all added up, it's still reasonable to say that over 30 million people lost their jobs and are still unemployed and want to work. Reasonable approach for the unemployment rate, 20%. The unemployment rate is in the eye of the beholder. Both institutions report various unemployment rates and are everywhere. In early June, BLS reported that the unemployment rate fell to 13.3%, but there is an approximate way 29.2 million people demand 18.4% unemployment insurance in 158.3 million workforces. Add people who have lost their jobs but are not eligible for unemployment insurance, and add people who have never worked or worked recently but who want to work and cannot find a job, like new graduates, and suddenly the unemployment rate is well above 20%. And the term unemployment rate over 20% seems to be a reasonable approach to the current conditions of the labor market. Most of the idea, comment, information, and criticism containing in these videos have been created by Daily News Report. Before making any important investment decision, Use the information contained in these videos as a starting point for conducting your own research. If you make any investment or legal decision, it is advised to consult an expert before making this decision.